Hello everyone, my name is Kay and welcome back to your Big Brother live feed recaps. So week 9 has just begun in the Big Brother house, and with only 7 players remaining, it's really getting down to the wire. Right now we have a new HOH, new plans for the week, but we also have a lot of loose ends to tie up from last week, so there is a lot to get into today. Before we begin, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, as I will be here covering Big Brother as we wrap up the season. Now, let's get started. So when we last left off, Kyle was put on the block as a replacement nominee and was preparing to go home. This, of course, was after Kyle was exposed for trying to start an alliance that consisted of only the White House guests. Yeah, super awkward.
That is super uncomfy.
And while these events were shown on the TV edit, fans were quick to point out how the edit seemed to be a little bit soft on Kyle and his prejudices. I do agree that Kyle's edit did make him seem a little bit sheltered and naive, as if he wasn't using race in the game with malicious intent. When in reality, Kyle knew that what he was doing was wrong, and he even admitted out loud that he could be canceled for his actions. Kyle had even admitted during the house meeting that he had been looking at things through a racial lens.
By him also admitting, in front of the living room that, hey, I think my thoughts were rooted in race.
Yeah, like that you told him upstairs.
Exactly.
Like, you got it.
And the fact that the TV edit failed to show Kyle admitting that his actions were rooted in prejudice is really disappointing. And it caused many casual fans to actually come and defend Kyle's actions, which is super duper sad, because this could have been a really great learning opportunity for fans who may not understand how prejudice can play a factor in the game. I personally do not think Kyle is full of hate, but I do think that he is a little bit ignorant. Kyle even admitted that he never finished watching BB23, which is probably why he doesn't understand the real purpose of the cookout or why they formed. To be clear, the cookout formed out of necessity, not hatred. They formed because racism made it really easy for Black people to be othered, targeted, and generally treated like shit in this game for over 20 years.
What you gonna say? Get in my face. What you gonna say? What you gonna say? What you gonna say? You want the Black to come out? What you gonna say?
We have had racist remarks said to us. I have been called Shaniqua. They flipped my bed over, start talking ghetto talk to me, and I am supposed to go and hide and sleep in another room.
In my opinion, Kyle's fatal flaw was that he was unable to see past his own prejudices. Like, there were so many painfully obvious clues that he just flat out ignored. Like, he ignored how terribly Taylor was treated and ostracized by the other people of color in the first couple weeks of the house. He ignored how Ameerah and Nicole were both blindsided by other people of color in the house. He ignored the fact that no one, not even the other people of color, even wanted to work with Terrance. I mean, anybody with half a brain could see how quickly the people of color were quick to target and take each other out this season. But unfortunately, all Kyle saw was their race, and that's why he's sitting in the jury house right now.
But the reality is, there was nothing that supported the line of thinking that he had outside of these people are not white.
Yeah, that's
nothing.
Also, I don't want to see shit in the comments about Taylor's decision not to put Jasmine up. Kyle started talking about this all-white alliance stuff a week before Taylor was even HOH and before Taylor even made those comments. So that argument is just irrelevant at best and ignorant at worst.
You look so dumb right now.
Now on to Michael and Brittany. A lot of fans were seemingly upset that the edit made them look like bigger villains than Kyle. And while I do think the edit was a little soft on Kyle, I'm really glad that they made Michael and Brittany's intentions very clear. Michael and Brittany claimed that they weren't exposing Kyle because of game reasons, but we all know that that is not true at all. This was a total game move, and had Kyle been in power this week, I could easily see a scenario where Michael and Brittany never even bring this up at all. Their actions have already caused an adverse effect on their games, and they've lost a lot of respect with their fellow house guests.
It wasn't, this is weighing so heavily on my heart now, so I must share it. It's game move.
Bro,
100%.
His word is my bond. If I'm in that motherfucking jury house, you better know I'm finna sway the shit.
There were a few other really important details from last week that were omitted on the show, like how Terrance was still trying to get Taylor evicted even after all this Kyle drama. Terrance has been very anti-Taylor all season, even when Taylor was on his side and even when she was very pro-Terrance. Game-wise though, I guess Terrance wanting to keep Kyle does make sense, because at this point, Kyle is probably the only person Terrance can beat at the end, and that's all shade. And while the episode gave Alyssa a good edit showing her standing up for herself and breaking up with Kyle, in reality, they immediately got together and started hooking up again a few hours after that conversation ended, so yeah, there's that. Now with the housekeeping out of the way, let's move on to this current week. With Kyle gone, a fresh week starts in the house, and with that, a new HOH. It should come as no surprise to anybody that the new HOH this week is Michael. This is going to mark Michael's third HOH of the season. Michael now has 8 competition wins under his belt and is on his way to breaking the record for most comp wins in all of Big Brother history. As controversial as he is right now, Michael is an all-star if I've ever seen one, okay? This win is obviously a big one for Michael. Him and his allies are safe for now, but there is a double eviction coming up this week, so anything is really possible. Michael immediately decides to go with the safe option of nominating Terrance and Alyssa, with Terrance being the hopeful target. Terrance is definitely coming after Michael right now, especially after last week, but I don't think Terrance is the best option for Michael to target for his game. Terrance really isn't much of a comp threat. He technically got 3rd place in the HOH that he won, and his veto win was largely due to him being in a good spot that was very not windy. Turner is also targeting Michael and would be a good option for Michael to put up, but Michael did already promise Turner safety since he got Kyle evicted last week. In my opinion, Monte would probably be the best person for Michael to target right now for his game. Monte is targeting Michael pretty hard, and he's also a pretty big competition threat. Even with all that being said, Michael right now is still very, very hesitant to take the shot at Monte, and I just don't know why. With Michael being ineligible for the HOH during this next double eviction, it's really in his best interest to get out the biggest competition threat now. But even with all of that being said, there is still a veto competition that needs to be played, and there is still plenty of time for Michael to change his mind on his target. As of right now though, Terrance and Alyssa do still remain on the block. Of course, I'm interested to know, what do you all think of Michael's plans for the week? Do you think he's doing what's best for his game, or do you think there's something else that Michael should be doing instead? Let me know in the comments below. Right now, it's really hard for me to picture Michael not being in the final 2, even with the double eviction coming up. He just seems to know how to hack every single competition that's thrown his way, and I'm feeling kind of confident that he may be able to just win out all the way to the end, even though he has a huge target on his back right now. Once again, if you have not already, make sure you hit the subscribe button below just so you can stay up to date as we wrap up this season. I'll let you all know if there are any more updates, but until then, peace.